5 weeks into the season, one of our football teams has secured playoff eligibility, while boys and girls golf competes in the DVC championships. Hello, Naperville sports fans, and welcome to another episode of NSW. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Neuqua Valley football entered Week 5 without a win on the season, but Wildcat running back Andrew Barkley was determined to break the streak against DeKalb. We'll begin the show with action from Neuqua before we see another great running back performance from a Waubonsie Valley Warrior.
Neuqua Valley football kicks off homecoming weekend as they host DeKalb, who's coming off a 39-6 defeat at the hands of Lincoln Way Central. Both teams are looking for their first win of the season as the regular season reaches past the halfway point. On Neuqua's ensuing possession at midfield, Barkley gets the handoff again and races down the right side before being pushed out of bounds inside Barb's territory. Now on 4th and 13, Barkley makes an impact in the passing game as Kia Trung floats it up to Barkley, who makes the catch at the 10-yard line. A few plays later, down at the 4, the drive is capped off by Barkley, who takes the handoff and fights his way into the end zone. His second touchdown of the night makes it 14-0 Cats with 6 minutes left in the first. First play on DeKalb's ensuing possession, their run game rises to the challenge. Marion Dudley gets the handoff and slices his way through untouched. He sprints past Neuqua's defense, and just like that, he's in for an 80-yard touchdown run. DeKalb is down 14-6 following a blocked PAT. Neuqua immediately responds first play of their next drive. The end around is to Daniel Robinson, who dashes towards the left side and goes blazing past the Barb's defense. He goes in for a 56-yard touchdown to make the score 21-6 Neuqua Valley, which would be the tally at halftime. In the third quarter, Latimer gets replaced by Michael Hodge, who drops back to throw, but his pass is tipped into the air and picked off by Nick Pape. The Wildcats take over just beyond midfield. Neuqua turns the turnover into points as Barkley gets the rock again and spins out of not one, but 2 DeKalb tacklers. He's off to the races again and is in for a 27-yard touchdown run to extend Neuqua's advantage up 28-6. Barkley gets the handoff, and like a cannon, he shoots into DeKalb territory and outraces the entire Barb's defense. He would take it the distance for an 85-yard touchdown run, his 4th score of the night. Neuqua dominates with the ground game and defeats DeKalb 35-12 for their first win of the season.
Coach Adam Puchalowski watches his Warriors enter the field at Stagg High School for a windy football game against the Chargers. Both teams are looking to rebound after losses last week when Stagg fell to Naperville Central and Waubonsie lost to Lockport. About 7 minutes in, Colin Ford looks for Josh Tinney, but the pass gets intercepted by Stagg's DeWitt Washington Jr. He nearly runs in for the score, but gets pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line. First play on offense, Olaf Kozub charges his way into the end zone for a touchdown. With about 4 minutes left in the first quarter, Ford takes it himself before Thomas Thornburg jars the ball loose and James Klimick recovers it for the Chargers. After Stagg cannot score off the turnover, Waubonsie has the ball in hand again. Ford keeps it himself on a crucial 3rd and long as the Warriors quarterback secures the first down. The Warriors are forced to punt, but Cade Valick's kick is muffed by the Chargers' return man. It gets recovered by Waubonsie's Gavin Ollie Hanlon inside the 25-yard line. The Warriors keep on fighting. Christian Simmons takes the rock and weaves his way forward for a first down. Ford fakes out the defense and the camera on the option with Simmons. The Warriors QB runs into the end zone to make it a 7-7 ball game going into the halftime break. There was little action in the third, so we jump ahead into the fourth quarter. Ford gives one to Simmons, who runs down inside the 5. Ford then drops the snap, rolls out to his right, and finds Tinney open in the end zone. The Warriors now lead 14-7 about a minute into the fourth. After the Dub V defense got the ball back, it's time for Simmons to ice the game. A wall of blockers opens the passage, and Simmons has too much speed to be caught. The Warriors are now leading 21-7. Waubonsie's defense once again makes a stop, and once again Simmons breaks loose. The Warrior evades a handful of tackles, highlighted by a stiff arm, and doesn't stop moving his legs. Tinney throws in a big block as Simmons crosses the goal line for a third time. Waubonsie Valley goes on the road and defeats Stagg 28-7, improving to 3-2 on the year. Naperville Central entered the week fresh off a 56-7 thrashing against Stagg. It was more of a defensive battle over the weekend for the Redhawks as they hosted Lincoln Way West.
Another Friday, another home game for Naperville Central as the Redhawks fly in with a 4-0 record, but that winning streak is on the line as they welcome Lincoln Way West. The Warriors come in with a 3-1 record and hope to bounce back after suffering their first defeat a week ago to Sandburg. Hayes is in a fourth down situation, but finds Clark open in the middle, and that's a 20-yard play that sets the home team up inside the 10. Now they line up at the goal line, and Hayes sneaks it in for the touchdown. The officials take time, but eventually, it's a touchdown, and this game is tied at 7. The defense gets their juice on with Aaron Nussbaum and Jake Stanish teaming up to sack Hetfleich for a major loss. Central gets the ball back, and Hayes throws a dart to an open Garrett Nichols, and he dives into the end zone for the touchdown. That gives the Redhawks a 14-7 lead at the half. In the third quarter, Hayes continues to use his arm, so he rolls out and finds Nick Haddad for a 31-yard completion, but the drive ends with a turnover on downs. Hawks try to milk the clock in the fourth quarter with Gavin Wade getting involved in the running game, and he picks up a first down. It's fourth down, and Hayes tries to sneak it to ice the game, but the Lincoln Way West defense stops him on his tracks, and they get the ball back with one last chance. Although the Redhawks defense stands tall, starting with Stanish getting another sack on Hetfleich. This is the last shot for the visitors, with Hetfleich looking for Coates, but Paul Piradati knocks it away, and the Redhawks survive a defensive battle to improve to 5-0 on the season.
When we return, we'll stay on the gridiron, but also hop over to the soccer pitch. Two Mattia and Waubonsie Valley soccer players are pulling double duty this fall, with both playing soccer and football. We'll have more after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
When it comes to interest rates, it seems the Fed only knows one direction, up. That's not fair. If you're fed up with high rates, head over to Fair Oaks Ford. You can get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months. Now that's fair. Plus, you'll get what J.D. Power called the best customer experience in the business. Fair Oaks Ford on Ogden Avenue in Naperville. You've got a friend in the car business. Shop online 24/7 at fairoaksford.com.
Cade Valek and Cameron Lies are both crossing into new territory this fall, with the longtime soccer players kicking on their respective football teams. Patrick Cotto has more in our latest feature story, sponsored by Fair Oaks Lincoln.
Being a two-sport athlete during the school year takes tremendous hard work and dedication. Being a two-sport athlete during the same season adds another level of challenge. Varsity soccer players Cade Valek from Waubonsie Valley and Mattia Valley's Cam Lies accepted that challenge by defending the pitch, and contributing their talented legs to their school's football programs.
Some of my best friends play football, and I've always had an interest for the sport. I've been watching it since I was a little kid, and it always seemed fun to me to be able to play football. I've never had the chance to. So I talked to the coach and I talked to the soccer coach and we figured it out, and I'm having a great time playing both.
As starting center backs for their respective soccer teams, Valak and Lies have developed powerful legs after a lifetime of playing on the pitch. But kicking a football accurately through the uprights is not the same skill set.
I think it definitely changed the pace. Soccer, it's constant, but football, you got restarts, you got downs, like your different plays. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, is not that constant action, was just stopping of play.
Valak has already been a multi-sport athlete at Waubonsie, playing a key role as a member of the Warriors Regional Championship basketball team last winter. The decision these athletes made to pick up an entirely new sport so late in their high school careers was not a simple one.
This summer, or in spring actually, when I kind of got approached about it, so I thought about it over summer and I started practicing a little bit, and I realized I was kind of decent at it. So I started working harder at it, and here I am now.
First year Waubonsie Valley head coach Adam Puchalowski and veteran Mattia Valley boys soccer coach Josh Robinson were excited about the new opportunities for their athletes, even though skepticism initially existed for these first-year special teamers.
And the first time he came out, we found time during the summer to work together. First time he came out, I was like, all right, we got something here. So he's got a live leg and he's super accurate and he works hard at what he does.
Before we start doing this, have you kicked a field goal before? Are you good at it? Do you want to? It was like, let's not put the cart before the horse. Why don't you practice a little bit? Let me know. But I go, I'll connect with Coach Parpet about it and tell him that you're interested. And so that's how it all began.
Puchalowski is no stranger when it comes to the kicking game. He was the starting punter at North Central College before beginning his coaching career, so he quickly realized Cade's strong leg would provide the Warrior football team with a valuable weapon.
The biggest similarity is the need for leg strength, right? To be a great soccer player, you got to be able to kick the ball pretty hard, and then you flip that on the football field, and the ability to kick a football, especially extra points, field goals, kickoffs especially. The guys who have really live legs in soccer generally are great at kickoffs.
Cade splits time with both the soccer and football teams, while Lies spends 2 days with the Mustang football team during the week. Conflicts do exist, as Cam Lies recently discovered firsthand. On September 20th, the Mustang boys soccer team played at conference rival Neuqua Valley with the 4:30 p.m. start time, while the football team took a road trip down to Andrew High School in Tinley Park for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. The game went to overtime, and once the match concluded in a 1-1 tie, he immediately sprinted off the field to head to the Mattia football game. He was able to arrive on time, kicking an extra point following a second-half touchdown while wearing his second Mustang uniform of the day.
I asked Monday, I go, hey, who kicked off the game? And they're like, no, he made it. And somehow he made it to Andrew on time to kick off. It's luckily his parents were the ones driving him, but Cam's leaving a legacy behind of being that first male athlete to play 2 sports in the DVC. And I think that's massive. And hopefully kids are gonna want to take that on more, and we want to encourage that.
Both are only playing for 1 season, but this moment in time will be one they will always cherish. As the calendar flips to October, they will continue to use their legs as they aim to help their respective football and soccer teams in any way they can during their final high school athletic campaigns.
I think the relentless effort. I mean, it's always said in our football program, it takes a special effort, it takes a relentless effort. And I mean, anything you do, it takes a special effort. And football kind of showed me that for every single drive, every single play, you got to make that special effort. So
I'm really comfortable now. I think I'm pretty confident with my skills and abilities to make field goals and kick kickoffs. I can definitely get better and I can definitely increase my range, but with all my practice, I've been getting pretty good at it, and I feel good about where I'm at.
The 2 seniors have gone head-to-head on the soccer pitch for several years. Valak's Warriors slipped past Lies and the Mustangs in mid-September, but Mattia Valley will have a chance to even the score when the rivals face off on the gridiron for the first time in the regular season finale on October 25th. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Girls volleyball recently began conference play, and after the break, we'll check out some of our teams. Then we'll see our boys' play of the week.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Naperville North hosts a crosstown matchup against Naperville Central. The Huskies are coming off a victory against DeKalb this past Tuesday, while the Red Hawks are also coming off a win after defeating Neuqua Valley. Central gets off to a 1-0 start with McKenna Divick jumping up to smack the ball for a 2-0 lead. Serving for the Red Hawks is Sarah Butler, who serves in a good ace, leading the Red Hawks to a 3-0 advantage. The red and white keep up the good start as Georgia Von Lemden hammers one past the Huskies. Central's ahead 9-4. North responds back as Bella Farima attacks through the middle and powers down the kill. North keeps on fighting as Joelle Pye Blacknard overpowers the Red Hawks for the points. They still trail 15-21. Central's on set point now, and the Huskies are looking to go on a run as Heidi Mix spikes the ball from the outside and down for the points. It's 24-16. The hosts keep on fighting, and it's Florima's turn from the outside as she tools one off the Central blockers to make it 18-24. Serving for the Huskies is junior Emma C. Ray, who gets the Red Hawks to scramble and earns the ace. Just like that, they only trail 21-24. However, the Red Hawks have had enough of this first set. Annabelle Kritzer gets set up on the outside and she connects for the kill. Central holds off North and takes the first set 25-22. The second set is underway, and it's the Huskies who take the first lead off a kill from Florima. Annette Bednar serves for the Huskies, and she's able to hit the ball off a Red Hawk for the ace. North is in front 6-2 early in the second set. Things continue to go North's way as Jessica DeCow lands a good hit for the Huskies as they lead 8-3. The Red Hawks are now down 4 and are trying to get right back into the sets. Von Lemden left hands one around the North blockers to help get them going. Ray serves once more for the Huskies, but Butler and Von Lemden once again deliver for the Red Hawk kill. This would help get the Red Hawks to match points. Central looks to close it out here, but Florima once again gets a big kill for North. She guides one past Central, but the Red Hawks are still up 24-23. On the next rally, Divick sets up Impey, who calls game from the outside. Her kill gives Central a 25-23 set 2 win as the Red Hawks take down the Huskies in straight sets. Christian Simmons earns our boys' play of the week after running wild for an 80-yard score and icing the game for Waubonsie Valley football. The Warriors lead Stag 21-7 with about 5.5 minutes left in the game. Simmons takes the handoff, follows some solid blocks, and evades a few defenders. He has a lane, but first stiff arms a defender to break free. Josh Tinney throws in a big block as Simmons crosses the goal line for a second time. Let's take another look at the run. Simmons scored off a 45-yarder only a few minutes prior as he helped Dub V beat Stag 28-7. 5 weeks into the year, and the Warrior running back looks like one of the best in the area. The first sport to crown a conference champion this fall is golf. After the break, let's see which boys and girls teams earns the conference title.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
2 dealerships, side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Get 0% for 72 months, plus $2,000 off a 2023 Lincoln Aviator this month at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville, where the dealership experience makes the difference.
The DVC Girls Golf Championship is back at Phillips Park in Aurora. Neuqua Valley hopes to send longtime head coach John Keller into retirement as a winner as the Wildcats enter the tournament with a 7-1 regular season conference record. Naperville North and Waubonsie Valley are in the hunt for the title as well. Waubonsie Valley gets off to a solid start as a team. Sia Sohal makes a par putt on the 4th hole. Sohal shines on the back 9, leading to a round of 84 for the Warriors. The top Metea Valley golfer is Ansley Ellis, who is chipping from the fairway on the 9th hole, and she nearly drops it into the cup. A great front 9 for the Mustang, who shoots a 38 on the front thanks to this birdie, and she finishes with an 85 overall. On the par 3 10th hole, Hannah Lee from Waubonsie starts her back 9 strong with a nice par putt. Lee ends her round with an 84, tied for 9th place in the tournament. Neuqua Valley starts the back 9 behind by 9 strokes in the team standings. Malar Anand is doing her part with a fantastic tee shot and a birdie putt on the 10th hole. She goes on to a round of 80, the 5th best overall score. Naperville North is near the top of the leaderboard as well thanks to senior Georgia Riley. She drives onto the green on the 10th hole to set up a par. The Wildcats quickly start to make up ground. Evan Ashley makes a long birdie putt from the edge of the green as she goes on to a round of 81, good for 6th place individually. Naperville Central continues its overall team improvement this fall, with the Redhawks in search of a top 3 finish. Alexa Miller nearly drills a hole-in-one on the par 3 17th hole as part of a round of 92. On the 17th green, Addison Wu from Naperville North makes an 8-foot par putt as she scores an 89 on the day, as the Huskies are within a few strokes of the lead. In the next group, fellow Husky Alex Yeager drills a long putt to help save par as she shoots an 82, the 7th place score on the day. Naperville Central has 2 golfers in the top 10 overall. Junior May Binkowski makes a 10-foot par on 17 as she wraps up her day with a score of 83 for the Redhawks. Neuqua Valley is looking to secure the first place team score. Carly Rogers leads the way for the blue and gold with a 3rd place score of 77. That helps Neuqua Valley surge to the top of the standings. Mina Shyam from Waubonsie Valley enters the final 2 holes with a 1-stroke lead as the top individual golfer. She finds the dance floor on 17 and goes on to make par from there, wrapping up an 18-hole score of 76. Ashika Patel from Naperville Central in a tough spot next to the green, but the junior chips her ball within inches of the cup to set up an easy par save. Another great round for Patel, who leads the Redhawks with a 78. Georgia Riley enters the 17th hole 1 stroke behind Shyam for the individual lead. But the senior delivers with a clutch birdie on the par 3 to even the score and eventually force a playoff after matching the Warrior with a 76 of her own. The playoff hole is played on the 16th hole par 5, where Riley holes out from 86 feet for eagle. An incredible shot as Shyam is forced to match with a 70-foot chip attempt. She gives it a great chance, but the ball settles a couple feet away from the cup as the birdie is not enough. Georgia Riley from Naperville North is the individual medalist. That helps the Huskies to a runner-up team finish, 1 stroke ahead of Waubonsie Valley. Naperville Central finishes in 4th place with Metea in 5th. Neuqua Valley wins the team championship by 5 strokes to give Coach Keller another DVC title as he enters his final weeks with the program.
The DVC Boys Golf Championship is here on a sunny and windy day at Blackberry Oaks. Naperville Central comes in as back-to-back defending champs and hopes for a three-peat, while the rest of the conference teams hope for new low scores with regionals next week. We start on hole 4 with Waubonsee's Avi Kanduja taking advantage of the par 3 with a solid tee shot to the green. He goes 1 under and golfs a 76. Up next is teammate Adam Torian, who shows a good swing. The ball is on line to the green, but it lands oh so close for the hole-in-one. Despite the miss, he still pars the hole and finishes the day with a solid 78. This is a good one for the Warriors because Anish Kamdar goes 1 under and is the tribe's top individual golfer after a round of 72. DeKalb's leading golfer on the day is Jonah Keck. He displays a great tee shot that hits the dance floor and scores a 74. On hole 6, Zach Boynton is Naperville Central's best scorer, and here he gets a good chip that lands in a nice position near the pin. Boynton golfs a 78. Neuqua Valley gets an early strong showing from Daniel Zhang, who pars and takes a 79 for the blue and gold. Drew Allen does the same as he evens the hole and is pumped up for a round of 81. To the 7th hole featuring Red Hawk Graham Kavanaugh, whose fairway shot is on the money. It bounces and lands not too far from the target, so from there, he lines up for birdie, and it's good. Kavanaugh finishes with a score of 79. Brady Chung also gets a birdie, but that starts an exciting day for the Wildcat. The marathon on hole 7 continues with Wildcat Ryan Watson. He stays patient until he chips his attempt, and it gets near the pin, and he evens the hole with the par. Watson gets a par, and so does Husky Lincoln Schultz, but his is from a long distance, but that's no problem for the sophomore. Back to Chung, this time on the 12th hole par 3. He flies this ball to the green, and it lands in his favor and goes on to par. Ryan Kong from Central is on his second attempt for a long birdie. This lag putt looks promising, but slows up and doesn't get the favorable curve. That's okay because he still pars and golfs a 79 for the Redhawks. To another par 3, this time on hole 17. Matthias Armand Shaw gets enough juice on his swing that just gets to the green. Shaw golfs Matthias' best round at 81. On the 18th hole, Schultz continues his dominating round for North thanks to a flop shot that hits the green and takes a strong roll. Schultz ends the round with a par and scores a 73, the top individual score for the Huskies. Here is Chung wanting to end his day with the birdie that looks possible, but it just misses the pin. He still pars and takes the best individual score with an unbelievable 67. Watson is on his last shot in the round, and he seals it with the par and shows excitement for good reasons. Not only he scored a 73, but Neuqua Valley also golfs a team round of 300, and that helps the Wildcats to the Boys Golf DVC Championship. Neuqua finishes ahead of Waubonsee Valley and Naperville North.
That will close out this week's episode of NSW. Tune in again next week for more action, including postseason action for boys and girls golf. You can find all of our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy.